Bentley Koup, or as I've referred you as of late as Bentley Dupe, I said that I was going to provide a video, and that's what I'm going to do because that's what I said I was going to do. But I will say this: I actually came up with a couple of versions of how I was going to go about doing this, and then I decided no, I'm not going to do all that I said that I was going to do in that respect. So what am I getting at? I want to tell you that I checked out um, your latest upload in which you make a proposal, a proposed idea for DoorDash hopefully to consider, in which you redirect a service fee that's already charged to the customer and use it in some way as an incentive for drivers. And I'm going to say that um, I see where you're coming from, and I'm not going to say it's a great idea. I'm not going to say it's a bad idea. I just see where you're coming from. But at the same time, it's obvious that we see things completely different when it comes to um, presenting content here on YouTube, by which we are hopefully helping drivers to maximize their grind and their hustles. Now, this Premier Dasher, you say, would raise the standard, um, perhaps ultimately raise acceptance rates and produce a better experience for both customers and drivers alike, and it wouldn't cost DoorDash any extra money. And um, that may be true. Who knows? Um, but going over what you suggested, drivers should complete at least 15 orders a week. They should have they should have a driver rating of 4.85 or higher, and an early or on time percentage rate of at least 85%. But on the back end, it's really a driver with a 90% completion rate. Well, the two things that stood out with me were the 15 completed orders a week and the 299. And I really think that number should be 40 deliveries or higher or more a week, because then you really get someone who is dedicated, going out there day in and day out, or week in and week out, with working the app. And that would be someone who has accrued a significant amount of experience over time. The other thing, the 299 fee, redirecting that money to where it goes to the driver. Well, I don't trust DoorDash when it comes to money, because DoorDash is all about squeezing as much money as it can out of you and the customer. Um, DoorDash has to answer up to its investors, and DoorDash has to answer up to the people that are on their payroll. Drivers are nothing more than a necessary evil, as I mentioned in that exchange of words on that community post from earlier today. My thinking is that over time, DoorDash should find a way to either reduce that share going to the driver, or what they may do is saying, okay, we're actually going to keep our word and redirect 299 to the driver. But what we're going to do is that we're going to raise that expedited fee of $3.99. And so drivers still get $2.99, but we're getting $1 out of it. So now, why am I saying what I'm saying? I've been around the gig economy long enough to have seen a lot of things come and go in a matter of 6 going on 7 years. And just using rideshare, because you mentioned about rideshare, with how that certain facets of incentivizing drivers with potentially higher money-making opportunities. I was around when drivers got 75% of the fare, and there were drivers before me who got 80% of the fare. And now drivers don't even get anywhere close to what the percentage of what I used to get. In fact, when you look at the actual rate per mile the rate per mile is like 25% less than what it was just 5 years ago. So I don't trust these companies when it comes to driver share of money. I just don't. But at the same time, as I mentioned, I mentioned on that community post that I was not interested. I'm still not interested because, uh, quite honestly, maybe it's just a cynic's um, perspective over time. Maybe because I am what some may say a hardened veteran, and maybe some may just say that I'm just some hard ass stubborn old person. I just don't believe that drivers making the suggestion of change will ultimately be received by a $9 billion company. If a $9 billion company was really concerned about the drivers as well, or at least prioritize, make some kind of priority on the drivers, it would it would be coming up with incentives that actually do benefit a driver if they really cared about drivers. And that's where the detachment comes into play. DoorDash is only going to come up with programs that ultimately benefit them. DoorDash is only going to come up with programs, even at the customer's expense, that benefit them. And I hope that you realize that, man, because that's just sheer reality. And even though I'm not going to go into the exchange that we had, though, but know that in the process, DoorDash's end game goal or ultimate goal is to achieve profitability based on the current business model, or the business model that's based even more so on artificial intelligence and machine learning, but also with autonomous vehicles and or robotics and or the drones. So again, we're just a necessary evil at this time. And our our participation in their business model is just really temporary when it's all said and done. Um, it is likely, we don't know what it's going to be in 5 years. We don't know what's going to be in 10 years. But as we know how companies are always trying to maximize their profits, and as companies are always trying to squeeze out really labor, just know that we may not be a part of that solution. So that's why I'm sharing this reply as I have. I'm talking as someone who's been around a while, who's seen and experienced a lot of things. At the same time, I'm going to say this too. At some point, very soon, I'm going to be having my own live streams and or podcasts. And I'm going to extend the invitation to you, Bentley. Having been a former newspaper reporter and having had extensive experience at asking the tough questions, I'm going to tell you already, you better have done your homework. I am not the person who's going to lob beach balls and grapefruits across the plate. I'm going to throw the 95-mile-an-hour plus fastball across the plate, and I dare you to come to get around on that pitch. And that's all I have to say on this. And for those who have been checking out this segment of the Gig Geezer, if you like the content that's been provided in this segment or in any other segment of the Gig Geezer, hit that subscribe button. Give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane, and as always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.